Buenas noches. My name is Gary Dorr. I am a Nez Perce Indian from Idaho in the United States of America. Right now, I'm in South Dakota. I live in South Dakota right now. I live on the Rosebud Sioux Reservation. I have been a sun dancer with Galen Drapo for 8 years now. And I've been to Colombia 3 times. 2 times for Sundance and 1 on a personal visit. I'm a traditional, what you call a traditional Indian. I hunt and I fish for salmon. I hunt for moose, elk, deer, those type of things. And I also gather roots and medicines from both here in South Dakota and in Idaho. Pretty much that's it. I'm just happy to be here and happy to make your acquaintance with all of you. Well, I've been sun dancing with Galen Drapo and Glenn Drapo for, like I said, 8 years, and so we were asked to come down and share the ceremony with Colombia. And so we knew this would be fulfilling part of the prophecy of the reunion of the Cóndor and the eagle. So we traveled to Colombia, to Maya, and met with the elders there who welcomed us onto the land to do the Sundance there. So I've been to Maya twice now, and I've also been to La Sierra to meet with the Mamos in my travels to Colombia. And I hope to come back and share some more ceremony. Well, as I mentioned, one of my travels, I met with the Mamos, Mamo Palia and Mamo Luntana in La Sierra. And so I had shared a story of the Nez Perce people. It's called When a Coyote Defeats the Monster. And so the story was very similar to a lagoon monster in La Sierra. And if you look further into the history, you find that the Lakota people also have a very similar Eon, the eater, it's a monster, where the spider defeats the monster here. So looking at all these different stories and how they interact, when I shared that with Mamo Plia and Mamo Luntana, we came to a mutual understanding that we have similar issues, similar prophecies, similar indigenous thought, and so I was also given a spiritual project from them. And so when I shared that with them, what also came about was the fact that the Mamos said that thousands of years ago, the Eagle people, the Eagle nations, shared ceremonies with the Cóndor people down south. And so they said that on alternating 50 years, like 150 year, we would go down there, and then 50 years later, the Cóndor nations would come up north, and we would share ceremony. So, if you look further into the history of the Nez Perce people, my people in Idaho, we had a trade route that traveled from Idaho all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico in Texas. And we didn't know what that route was for. But now, matching up what Mamo Luntana has told me, we can see that Colombia is right across that Gulf of Mexico. So it looks to me as though continuing this relationship is a continuation of what we began thousands and thousands of years ago. That's kind of how that relationship developed, and I continue to look forward to coming to Colombia to continue that relationship. and to see what ceremony has to offer us in the way of healing, in the way of fulfilling our prophecies, and just what can happen from a good relationship when we come together and pray in a good way. When I first participated in the Sundance in Colombia, I came back and I told my people what had happened and that I had been there with the reunion of the Cóndor and the eagle. And when I shared it with my elders, they said, "Oh, that was a good thing." They said the Nez from Idaho had a prophecy where when the reunion of the Cóndor and the eagle happened, one of us would be there. And so that happened to be me in this case. So they were very happy. I shared the story with many of my people, many of our elders, and they're happy to join in prayer for the similar issues that the Cóndor people have that are very similar to us. So when I went back down after the Sundance, I went back down to Colombia. When I met with the Mamos, I told them that my people, they might have forgotten about this relationship, but that I was going to continue to make it visible and obvious so that we could all join in prayer for each other. And so one of the things that was prophesied from the original Sundance, 14 years before the Sundance went to Maya, I guess, was that one of the Hopis would be there. And there was no Hopis there, we thought. But when I talked to my elders, they told me that the Nez people in Idaho consider themselves 9th generation Hopi. So all the prophecies for the first Sundance were fulfilled. And the reunification has begun. And so we're looking for solutions to many of the problems that we have today from this ceremony. And so that's why I continue my relationship with Colombia, with the Mamos, and with the Sundance, is to see what good can come from this relationship, both from my gathering knowledge from the Cóndor people and from the Cóndor people gathering knowledge from us and our ceremonies. When we have the Sundance, we have people that are sacrificing of themselves. And we say that we have the ceremony so that the people may live. So you look at the Sundance, it's a ceremony. It's 4 days of Sundancers out there sacrificing all the water that they have because they're fasting. They're not eating and they're not drinking unless there's certain times when they may be given something by an elder. But they're out there and they're dancing for 4 days. No food and no water. And then at the end, if they wish, they can give a flesh offering. And this is all part of a prayer ceremony. And it's, they're out there praying for the people. So when you look at the Sundance ceremony, the other ceremonies that we have in North America, the Cóndor or the Eagle nations, and the prayer ceremonies from the Cóndor people, it's all prayer, just different ways of praying. So when you look at the Sundance, that's basically what we're doing, and it's just a very solemn, a very sacred prayer ceremony where the people who are participating are offering actual flesh from their own body. Is part of that ceremony. My relationship with that is I hope that we can continue to foster a relationship, and that we can continue to hold this ceremony in a sacred and a good way, the Sundance ceremony. So I'm hoping that through fundraising efforts, that we can bring the Sundance back down there, continue to bring it there in a good way, so that the sun dancers are not paying to participate in this ceremony. That's what the fundraising is for, because we like to say that the best things in life are free. Now we know that today's economy, money is involved, whether it's getting food, wood, materials for the Sundance. Those things need to occur. Now, if we can't bring them, then we need to raise funds. And so that's what I'm hoping that we get. We raise funds in a good way, so that we're not charging sun dancers who are coming into our circle, who are already making the ultimate sacrifice of flesh and water and their bodies, so that we can do this in a good way, so we can pray with one heart and one mind. We talked about, I said the best things in life are free. And the sun dancers are paying. They're paying with their flesh. And Arvo Looking Horse has even told us that we shouldn't be paying for ceremony. It's disingenuous. That's just not a good way to be making. If it came down to money, anybody could make those sacrifices, and it's easy because it's not a sacrifice. It's just handing money over. So we know that good things come from when people make that struggle. They go in a good way about getting something, because life isn't easy, and offering money or putting money forward. It's easier than offering your body for 4 days. So, I tend to agree with Arvo Looking Horse in that we should not be paying for ceremony. That's the way the ancestors taught us. If we want to, we open this Sundance ceremony to anybody. Anybody's welcome to come. Now, if we get 3,000 people, we're going to have a hard time feeding everybody. So if people want to come in a good way and bring food. Come in a good way and bring cooking utensils. Come in a good way and bring firewood, tools, even materials, tobacco. Those are things that we need. But we want to come up with this from the people, so that the specter of money, the image of money, is not what takes precedence in this ceremony. I am so glad you asked that. The children are necessary. We need the children there. We need the children inside the Sundance circle with us. When they run around and they play, that's fine. We love it when that happens. They're throwing dirt around, they're picking utensils up, they're picking our sacred eagle fans, they're taking them and they're fanning the other dancers. Every one of those actions, they're being led by the Creator. Every one of those things is a blessing for us. When they're out there dancing with their moms and their dads and their uncles, that brings that purity. And that's what's needed in every single one of our ceremonies. So when people come, we encourage them to let the children run around. They can do whatever they want because they're closer to the Creator than like I would be. They still have that open line of communication. So when they run around, they're doing things. They're doing things that they're led to by the Spirit to do. So I want to encourage every single child that's watching this to come and dance with me. Come and dance with your mothers. Come and dance with your relatives. Come and dance with the Drapo family. We'll all meet at the tree. We'll all go to the tree and we'll all pray together. We'll laugh together and we'll have just a very good time making this prayer in the best way possible with the purest of hearts, the young children. I have one thing to say. One thing. I love Colombia like I love my own homeland. I love Colombian people like I love my own people. I think that, continuing this relationship, we're going to become closer. And I think that, hopefully we can bring some more tribal members from other tribes, Nez Perce, the Mohegan, the Diné, the Navajo, to Colombia. I think we all these northern nations need to come together in whatever ceremony we can with the Cóndor people. I'm very appreciative of the Amazon tribes that are coming up and taking part in these ceremonies. I just can't say enough for the fact that the Amazon people have offered one of their sons to come and sundance with us. And he's been there every single year, offering his flesh. And the grandmothers, I love the Amazonian grandmothers coming and offering their presence as grandmothers, as women, because we know that the women, they carry the sacred water. It's from water that we're born. And they bring those prayers for the water, protection of the water, to this ceremony. So I'm thankful for every single person that comes to these ceremonies. And I encourage everyone who sees this to get in contact with the Circle of Ancestral Knowledge and find out when this Sundance is happening. We encourage you to come by and visit. Come by and dance with us. Come by and join in the sweat with us, the Anipi. And I just can't say enough, and I'm thankful for this TV station putting this word out. And I'm thankful for the Colombian government who offered, who welcomed us with open arms, who brought security to our Sundance in Maya. I'm just thankful for everything that's happened so far, and I hope we can continue this relationship. So I look forward to speaking with people about the fundraising efforts and about any questions they might have.